Good morning. Happy Monday. Every Monday morning, my name's Kurt Bergland. Every Monday morning, I do a book review of a baseball book. Could be fiction, could be nonfiction, could be out of print, could be hot off the presses. But it's always something that I have found useful or insightful or thought provoking or just very enjoyable reading. Today, I have a book that I've used a lot, as you can tell by how beat up it is. It's the Neyer James Guide to Pitchers. The publication date is 2004. The publisher is Fireseide Press. This is one of the books that I think is pretty much indispensable for a baseball fan's library. It's interesting in two ways. One, it's a wonderful book to just page through and read, but it's also a great resource. Obviously, it has not been revised, so we're talking about baseball history here, but for the pitchers that you know about, and pretty much they're all in here through that date, you get at least their record, their win-loss record, their earned run averages, and their save numbers, the period of years which they pitched, and the actual pitches that they used. And for the most part, they're listed in the order in which they used them, the pitch frequency that they used each of their pitches. So I'm going to give you an example here. I'm going to read you the Tug McGraw selection. This is what the font for the book looks like. It's dense, but it's readable. There are some pictures in the book. The book is about 480 pages long. There is an index. There are some appendices in the back, but the book is arranged alphabetically. So if you're looking for Tug McGraw, you look in the M's. Okay, so this is what it says about Tug McGraw. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound lefty, 96 and 92 with a 3.14 earned run average, 180 saves, and he pitched from 1965 to 1984. His pitches were the screwball, the fastball, and the curve. Screwball 1, fastball 2, curve 3. Then, for many of the entries, not all, but many, there is a quote, either from the pitcher himself or from someone who faced the pitcher, knew the pitcher, worked with the pitcher, some quote about that player. And this one is from Tug McGraw, and he said, and since we're talking trade secrets, you throw the Scroogey maybe a third of the time, at least I do. Mostly I'll throw fastballs. To put it in percentages, maybe 60% fastballs, 30% screwballs, and 10% curveballs. Nowadays, I'm trying to break in the curveball more all the time, so that I don't actually have to throw the screwball so much and save the wear and tear on my arm. What the hell, it's just as effective if they look for the screwball and I throw the fastball. Note, McGraw learned his screwball from Ralph Terry after the 1966 season, but it was years before the Mets would let him actually throw the pitch in games. It lists the source, which is his book called Screwball from 1974. And there's another note that says Herm Sturette, who of course was the longtime pitching coach for Earl Weaver, said Herm Sturette said that McGraw and Mike Quay are through the best screwballs he ever saw. All of that is on about a quarter of a page. It's up here. So why is the book so useful? Well, it talks about pitchers' careers, but it also talks about what they threw, and it does it quickly and digestibly, and it includes these interesting quotes and notes from others, comments from others about that pitcher. I was looking up through the book this morning, and I saw Ken McBride's entry, and someone was talking about Ken McBride, of course, was a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, and in the early to mid '60s, and there was talking about, and he actually started an All-Star game. He was a very good pitcher. But the quote in the book talked about how McBride was a sinker baller, and his whole success as a pitcher was based on whether he could get the sinker ball going on that day. And if he could, you probably couldn't beat him. So it's that kind of stuff that you don't find in one spot any other place. And that's why I think the Neyer James Guide to Pitchers is really important to have on your shelf. The appendices in the back, the extra articles that they wrote, most of the information here is sort of culled from other sources, but Rob Neyer and Bill James wrote some additional articles in the back that are very interesting as well. You can pick this up for $10 or less if you know where you're looking. Online booksellers. I think that it has dropped in price because people think that it's dated, but it's really not. If you're a fan of baseball history, it's perfect. So I encourage you to pick it up. It's the Neyer James Guide to Pitchers, 2004. All of the publication information is listed in the description for this video. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back next Monday with another video on a book review. And don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate very much. Have a wonderful day. So long, everybody.